Whoa, 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 it's the podcast show.
Is that what we're calling it? The podcast show?
No. That's just the intro.
Oh, that's...
We already have the name.
Well, yeah.
Wow, you really just don't pay attention, do you?
Well, I mean, you signed up for this, so, whatever.
Technically. Hey! Get out of that!
Cat.
I'm over your cat.
Okay.
I'm over him.
Well, if anybody wants a cat, hit us up.
Can you just throw him away? I just want to start over with dogs.
He'd find his way back.
So, two things before we get started. I just took a shower, and the towel, which I actually forgot to fix it, but it has those plastic pieces that hold like price tags on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this towel still had that on it, and
Did you scratch yourself?
I scratched my eye.
Oh.
Yeah.
What were you drying your eye off for?
Well, because I thought I had soap in it. What do you mean? What was I drying my eye off for?
I don't dry my eye off.
I mean, like, in my eye. I thought that I wasn't like my actual eye, like my eyeball. Like, it was like the area around my eye, you know? You never, like, wipe your eye off?
I mean, I wipe my eye off, I guess, but I guess I don't.
Well, anyway, I did it, and it was, like, in the spot of the towel that I always use to do that, and then I did it again.
Is it the corner?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I did it again. I did it, like, 3 times, and now my eye hurts.
Oh, what's that old saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Yeah, that doesn't apply to this. That's
because you did it to yourself.
No,
3
because
times.
No, because like
Trace.
I'm glad you know Spanish.
That's all I know.
No, because like that rule doesn't apply to this scenario.
Why not?
Because I'm not fooling anybody. It's just like my natural instinct that I do every single time I shower is to grab the corner that's closest to me and wipe my face with it. I don't know. I get weirded out. I dry my face off a lot in the shower because I just don't like it to be soaking wet. I know. Okay, let's move on. Anyway, I had a great shower idea.
Oh.
Do you get shower ideas? I think we talked about this the other day.
Yeah, I get shower beers. Nothing?
You're fired.
Wow. All right. Okay.
Ideas. Shower ideas. Like, I get ideas in the worst times. So, I get ideas when I'm in meetings.
We did talk about this. You wake up sometimes.
Yeah, well, no, it's like right before you go to bed when you're laying there. When you first lay down, you obviously don't fall asleep. I mean, unless you're, like, dog tired. But most of the time, you sit there for a minute, like, you're on your phone. Then you start, like, getting, like, really tired. Your eyes start getting really heavy. And then you have that, like, moment where you're awake, but, like, you really can't recall things that have happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right before, like, you're...
Right before you go to sleep. Like, right before you black out, pretty much. And that's, like, when I get some really good ideas, and my body doesn't like me because I wake myself up and, like, reach for my phone to write my ideas down. And then sometimes I'm too far gone, and, like, I type, and I think I'm typing perfectly, like perfect sentences.
Right. Like in your mind's eye, you've written a paragraph in perfect grammar, and then you wake up in the morning, and it's like you smash your face against the keyboard.
Yeah, like I go back and read it, and it like doesn't make any sense, and I can't even decipher what I was trying to say. Like it's that bad.
Maybe what you should do is maybe try it for a week. Maybe what you should try is get a microphone, like a little digital recorder, and like just try to train yourself to. It will really freak me out, but that'll probably be funny for you.
Get a microphone.
Get a microphone and like
kind of like a voice memo on my phone.
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, if you can remember to set it, like, and then like whenever you're getting ready to fall asleep, and you're like, that's a good idea. Instead of like reaching for your phone to go type on it, just say the idea.
So it's just constantly recording.
When you're asleep, yeah, that's why I said get like a digital.
But it's not when I'm asleep. It's like right before I fall asleep.
No, I
And also, I have to go throughout. Listen, I know you're trying to help, but
if you start it right whenever you go to bed, then it's only going to be recording for like that first hour, because you don't. it doesn't take you long to fall asleep.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a waste. Why am I going to record for an hour if I can just reach for my phone and turn on my voice memos?
Well, you've already said why.
But I'd rather just type it out.
All right, well, fine.
Well, anyway, okay, carry on. So, ideas like before I fall asleep, when I'm in the shower. I think someone invented like a notepad that's in the shower that you can write on. Mm. Which, I mean, phones are waterproof now, pretty much. So I just have my phone in there with me. So, I mean, if I have good ideas, I just open up the memos and type it in.
Yeah, you're listening to podcasts while you're in there anyway.
I do listen to Well, I've been listening to Jenna and Julian's podcast like nonstop. It's like a very good. I've always been the type of person that has liked background noise or like people talking or like a TV. I would have to have my TV on even if I'm like playing a video game.
Yeah, you used to watch Netflix in the shower, or nobody can see my air quotes, but watch Netflix.
Yeah.
In the shower.
Or like drive when I was like driving, I'd listen to Netflix. I wouldn't watch it, but
listen to Netflix while driving.
Yeah. I mean, some shows it didn't really work out because it's like they have like those long drawn out suspenseful scenes where no one's talking and like but like a lot of camera actions going on and you like don't know what's going on.
Intense eye contact or body
movement.
And
you don't know what's going on because
right.
I feel like
just like you think like your phone stopped or something.
Yeah, well, I know. Well, that and also I feel like TV and movies and stuff. It's like 50% dialogue, 50%
like visual.
Like picking up on those visual aids or visual cues that like people give you. That's the same thing. Like people don't like emailing as much as they do talking with someone in person because you can pick up on like the little nuances and like the little things that they do.
Dick or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's one thing that you would pick up on. So right before I fall asleep, in the shower, in meetings, if I'm in class, which is a bad one.
It's a bad one.
I really do think I have ADHD. Honestly, I would have
never guessed.
I tried very hard to focus, and I just can't do it. Like I'm always fiddling, and then tonight I was so self-conscious about it when I was in class because I was fiddling so much, and I was like, the person behind me probably thinks I'm like cracked out and like can't sit still. Like,
I mean, are they wrong?
I'm not on crack.
I know. I'm just messing. That was a joke.
That was a bad joke. Hey, buddy. Bye, buddy.
Hey, look. Yep, the cat wanted to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
The same cat that we're going to give away. He's very personable.
Yeah, he's not bad at all. He's a good cat.
He got scared of his own tail just now.
So anyway, just bad scenarios where I get like really good ideas, and that's basically.
I mean, it's not bad scenarios. It's just like
weird.
I would call it inopportune moments. When
I feel like it's like my brain playing a trick on me. It's like, why can't I have these ideas like when I'm sitting there doing nothing or bored out of my mind? You know what I'm saying?
I imagine there is a reason why we just don't know. Like I bet like your brain's not trying to think of these good ideas, so it's like in the background, so to speak. It's thinking of all these good ideas. Mm-hmm. And then like whenever you really try to focus on it, it's like, nah, we ain't doing that right now. It's not time for that.
It's kind of like when you're trying to fall asleep and your brain can only think of scary movies and like the scariest things that you've ever been through, worst scenarios, or like the most embarrassing ones, like back to third grade when you peed your pants in front of the class or something.
That never happened to me.
That never happened to me too. I'm just using that as an example. Can't think of any embarrassing moments because when I'm awake, my brain like suppresses those memories as it should, but then like right before I'm falling asleep, it's like, hey, remember that time you fell in front of that whole bus of people? Yeah.
There was one time at a street festival back where I'm from in Indiana. Mm-hmm. Huge street festival. At one time, it may still be. At one time, it was like the largest street festival in the continental United States. And they'd let kids out of school like early, right? Like it's that big. Like the entire city gets behind it. And the embarrassing part is I was there with my mom, and we were at a booth, and she was talking to some people that she knew because it's a small town, and well, relatively, I mean, in comparison to like Phoenix, it's a small town. Mm-hmm. But I go to sit down on a cooler that was closed 5 seconds ago, and I sit down, and it's a really, like, at that point, it was, like, 1 o'clock in the morning, so the sun was, like, directly overhead. It was, like, one of the hottest parts of the day, and I sat into, like, melted ice, and, like, I think I was wearing khakis, so it was, like, there's no way that I could play it off. Like,
that was your first problem. You were wearing khakis. Did you learn from your mistake?
Yeah, Mom was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie," and she, like, stood behind me.
I was talking about the khakis, wearing khakis.
Oh.
Drink every time you hear khakis.
I don't. Anyway, so that was my embarrassing moment, I guess.
It's not that embarrassing, though. I feel like there's way worse things. I fell into my tack box. I had my tack box open. It's like
box?
Mm-hmm, so basically, like, when I used to ride competitively, we would have a box, like, think of a giant toolbox that you put, like, big tools in, you know?
Okay.
And,
okay, that box.
like Stanley or whatever.
The one that you've got at the stables right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That one, I think it was. Yeah, it was that one. So it was open, and I was in the tack room where all the boxes were and, like, all the saddles and stuff. And I backed up into it, and I fell into my tack box. And that's pretty big. And, like, the side's pretty tall on it. And I have, like, the biggest bruise. I have a picture on MySpace. I have a picture on MySpace. I'll have to find it. Because, like...
Can you still log into MySpace?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I have, like... It was, like, the biggest bruise you have ever seen. It was,
on
like...
your bum?
On the other side of my thigh. Like, on the back side of my thigh.
Just underneath.
It was, like, a line... And then around it was, like, the biggest bruise ever. Because I bruise really easily anyway, but that was, like...
Yeah, you wake up with mysterious bruises.
Yeah, team mysterious leg bruise. Hashtag goes first, but yeah. So, it was horrible. Like, I would show people, and they're like, what? Like, what happened? I'm like, oh, I just fell in my tack box. Like, I didn't really care. I didn't think it was that embarrassing. But things, you know, like, that's embarrassing, you know? No one was around, thankfully, but I told everybody anyway, because why not?
That's who you are.
Just laugh at yourself. But speaking of laughing at yourself, I had a good idea in the shower. Back to that.
Yes.
Roast yourself. I think that we should roast ourselves.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
That sounds amazing. I love making fun of myself. Actually, originally I was like, oh, we should roast each other. But I was like, feelings will get hurt. Chris is a big baby.
That's true.
He'll cry.
I don't like making fun of people in general, let alone myself.
I think it's great. You should be able to make fun of yourself and, like, and laugh and poke fun, you know? You gotta get tough skin. That's the problem today. Everybody's so sensitive. Like, everything's so PC. You can't say anything without someone interpreting it, like, their own way, which is fine. Have your own, perception on things. But at the same time, it's like, grow up, you know? Like, grow a set.
Not everything's directed to hurt you in some way.
Yeah, like, I feel like those people are just so I don't know, what's that?
Brittle.
What is it?
Brittle?
No, yeah. That's
No?
not at all what I was thinking.
Oh.
What's the opposite of optimistic?
Pessimistic.
Yeah. Like, that's just very, like, you're looking at the bad side of things. You know what I mean?
The glass is half empty.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I feel like people are, it's just like, you can't even say anything to anyone because they get offended, you know? The stupidest things.
That's true.
But whatever, that's on them. But, so, I think we should do it because I think it would be funny. So I think we should write a rap about ourselves for the next podcast that we do.
Oh, okay.
About, like, just roast yourself, basically. You know, you've seen, like, some of those roasts before, right?
I've seen roasts, yeah.
Yeah, like Justin Bieber getting roasted.
Donald Trump got roasted.
Yeah. Was he sitting in there when he got roasted? Like, that roasted show?
Oh, yeah.
He was there?
What do you mean, was he there?
I didn't watch it.
What?
I've only watched a couple of them.
That was back in 2012 when he was running against Barack Obama, or attempting to run, and everybody took him for a joke.
He ran against Barack Obama?
Yeah, he was part of the whole, like, birther movement nonsense, where he's like, where's the birth certificate? Who was there in the room? I don't believe that he was born in the United States.
I thought he was just saying that to, like, be a dick. I didn't think that he actually...
He is.
He was running, and that's why he was...
He
what alternate universe has happened? What's going on right now? Because I really don't remember him running. I remember him running against Hillary, and that's it. I don't remember him running against Obama.
No, yeah, he ran against He announced his candidacy either like right before or right after that roast show on Comedy Central.
See, I remember Obama up against
Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney.
Mitt
Romney. M-I-T-T.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then that's it. Everything else is a blur.
Yeah.
Honestly.
The crazy Mormon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got binders full of women.
Yeah.
That was like the first
Creepy.
political debate that I ever watched, and he was like, "I've got binders of women." I don't even remember like what the context of it was, but I just thought it was funny where he's like binders of women, and then instantly on Twitter, everybody took off with it. You know, binders. We got binders of women.
Man,
I think something
you
about
were
him being
Twitter
sexist or
Twitter in 2008.
Hell yeah, I've had my Twitter for a long time.
You know, it's funny. I actually did not get a Twitter until there was a game that Ubisoft came out with.
You yelled at them.
Yeah,
you got it just to be an asshole.
I specifically made a Twitter to yell at Ubisoft because they
that's horrible.
Made a terrible game.
That's horrible.
Well, so here, let's put it into perspective, right? So let's say I make cups, right? Like that's my bread and butter. That's what I do. I make cups that you drink out of.
What kind of cups?
Just like
plastic, steel,
probably not
glass.
Plastic.
Are you blowing glass?
I would imagine.
What's your
Like
drink?
let's say for
what color?
For all intents and purposes,
Stone?
it's just a simple like ceramic cup.
Oh, so you're into pottery?
So are you gonna let me finish?
You
this
into
analogy?
pottery? Okay, sorry. Yeah.
So like let's say I sell like I tell everybody that this game or that this cup rather is gonna it's gonna be a great cup.
Why? What's the qualifications for it to be a great cup?
Well, right. What are the qualifications?
Describe.
So it'll hold whatever you want into it. It won't burn your hand, or it won't be too cold in your hand, or whatever. Right.
So those are characteristics.
I don't understand what you're trying.
That's
to
what
say.
the cups. I'm just trying to understand. I'm getting into this.
So I make the cup,
Mm-hmm.
and people put pre-orders in, and then
Mm-hmm.
the day it comes out, they come into my shop and they buy the cup, and everyone takes it home and they pour their favorite beverage into it,
Mm-hmm.
and then they bring it up to their lips, and then the bottom falls out of it, and all the liquid is everywhere, right? Like that's what Ubisoft did. I can't even remember the game, but it was very, very frustrating. They talked it up a big deal, and then like the first several weeks you couldn't play.
But that's like with any company.
Red Dead Redemption didn't do that.
Yeah, but I feel like everybody again it's the whole perspective thing. That's like all it's based on.
That's not a perspective. Like that's what happened.
No, I get that. Like your thing is like the cup. I'm just using that as the reference because you brought it up. The cup was poorly made, and you talked it up. A big game. Everybody was like in line to buy this cup.
Everybody paid $60 for this broken cup.
Yeah, they bought it and it sucked. But like, I guess yeah. I'm saying more like as a video game when I'm thinking about it. Like, you have video games that people hype it up and then you play it and it's almost like it gets hyped up too much and then it doesn't meet your expectations, or you know what I'm saying? Because like you're expecting it to be like the greatest thing in the entire world, and it's good, like it's great, no one's denying it, but it's not exactly what they said it was going to be, type of thing.
That's fair.
So I feel like a lot of companies get in trouble by doing that. Like they have to be careful, especially like who their target audience is.
Yeah, like me, critical gamers.
Yeah,
so.
but that's weird that you made a Twitter just to yell at the company.
That's true. I don't think I have any other tweets aside from that one.
That's horrible. We need more optimistic people. We need to be better.
Twitter's
be
not
more
the place
positive.
for that, I don't think.
Huh?
I don't think Twitter's the place for that.
Of course it is. You can use any social media platform
Why
to be
would
positive.
I use social media to be positive when I could just be positive to people?
Well, yeah, you could be positive to people, but don't you want to share that with other people online on the different sources that people use every day?
No.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think
I
so.
don't
Not at this point. I would not want to do that.
Well, I mean, let me say it like this: like, if you're gonna use social media, why not use it for a good thing? Why not be positive on it? Because you specifically set out to log in, to sign up for Twitter just to
That's for Twitter.
Just a
but
mean
I
tweet.
I don't use it for anything else anymore.
No, I know what you're saying, but you set out and you signed up for Twitter to specifically tweet negatively at a company.
That's true.
Instead of tweeting positively at another company.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, no, it makes sense, but
I just think people need to be more positive. I think people are so negative this day and age. Like, people complain about everything. Everything.
People do.
They do complain about everything.
Yeah.
Nothing makes them happy. Nothing satisfies them.
We're still talking about people, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else would we be talking about?
I was making a joke like you were talking about me, but obviously
well, that
it was
too.
not,
You're people.
well received. So.
But anyway, the roast me. I think we should do it as a wrap for the next podcast. So roast yourself.
In a rap? Really? I've got to rap it?
Well, I mean, like, you don't got to be like Eminem or, you know.
Yeah, there's no way I could be Eminem. He's
Lil
very
Wayne
talented.
up in here, but like we'll throw down a beat and you can kind of just recite it. Like, think of it like, what's that poetry where they like snap?
Snap poetry?
No, I don't know that. I don't think that's what it's called. I don't know, just like poetry at like a coffee shop, you know, and they like read and then everybody's like, instead of clapping, they all like snap at you. Super snappy.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? There's a word for it.
I mean, pretentious is the first word that comes to mind.
No, it's like I forget what it's called. That's gonna bother me. But anyway, so yeah, it'll be like to a beat for the next podcast.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I think that'd be funny.
I will attempt it.
I'm excited to hear yours. You gotta roast yourself.
I understand.
Don't hold
the
back.
premise. I understand.
Attack yourself.
Wow. All right.
Tear down your barriers. Make yourself self-conscious.
Great.
I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But roast yourself. It's all in good fun.
Okay.
Okay. So, specifically on this podcast, I wanted to talk about, well, we were supposed to do this on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Supposed to.
We were in turkey coma.
Yeah. As soon as, I didn't even eat that much turkey. I was just in a coma from eating too much food.
Yeah, food in general.
Food in general. So, filming good deeds. You know, the problem with this is, like, I get all these good ideas, and then, like, I get so hyped up and heated about them in the moment, and then, like, I come back to them, and I'm just like, oh, like, I already felt something about that. Now, done.
The feeling has already passed.
Like, I could have gone ham in that moment about it. I probably could if I started talking about it, but, so filming good deeds, do you know what I mean by that?
Let's say I don't.
Okay. So, there's quite a lot of backlash from any community, not just YouTube, but like Facebook, of, let's just say, a content creator or somebody films himself giving a homeless man like $10 or something, or films them like buying them a meal or getting them a hotel room or something like that, and then they post it. And then all these people flock to it. They comment, oh, you know, you just did this for the views, you just did this for the money, you just did this for the fame, you just did this for the notoriety, like, you just did this so you look like a good person, like, you should do this stuff without having to get recognition for it. So that's basically where I'm coming from.
Being a good person without thinking about the reward.
Yeah. So my whole thing on it is, it annoys me when people say that, when they're like, oh, you're not genuine because you're filming this for your YouTube channel, or you're filming this so, like, it goes viral and you can get famous, or whatever the case may be. Which, maybe that individual is trying to do that, and the only reason why they're giving somebody money or helping in some way or doing a good deed is because they want, like, the fame, or the, you know, they want to get popular or whatever. I'd like to think otherwise, just because I try to look on the better side of people. But I don't have a problem with it. And the reason why I don't have a problem with it, with people posting this, is because it's creating, like, a conversation, and it's it's allowing people to think about doing those things too. So, if you see someone doing a good deed, if I watch a video, my first thing is not thinking like, oh, this person just wants views. I'm thinking, what a good person, like what can I do to help the community out or help somebody. The next time I see a homeless man, I'm going to give him $5. You know what I mean? So it's like planting a seed in people's minds to be more compassionate, like towards each other or towards whatever animals, the situation, whatever it may be. I feel like people are getting like the wrong message from it.
So you think that the message that should be received there is like the pay it forward message?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless of that person the one that's posting the video of them doing whatever good deed it is.
They might be doing it for the likes.
Exactly, they might be, but me as a person,
they're still doing a good thing.
Yeah, I'm taking away that they're doing a good thing, and I'd like to think that they're doing it just to be a good person and to help somebody out that's down, or help an animal or whatever, help a kid, whatever the situation is. And I want to be like that too. You know what I mean? Like that makes me want to be a better person because someone else is.
Okay.
The same thing I hear a lot of time, just to bring up like the homeless topic, people don't like to give homeless people money now because these homeless people have like nicer cars than they do, like, and they're just panhandling for this money, but they have a nice apartment. Like there's homeless people on Wall Street that go out there and they specifically sit or stand on Wall Street collecting money from businessmen, because what happens is these businessmen give them $20, let's just say, and then they go into their job, and then that day they get like a huge sale or something. Now that business person's like, this is like good karma, so now the next day they give them $40. You know what I mean? But those homeless people, they actually, there was like a documentary or some sort of video or something, can't remember, done on it, where these homeless people, they would like get done on the road or on the sidewalk, and then they'd walk around the corner and get into like their brand new 2017, 18, whatever year it was, car. And they did one on this guy where he's like, yeah, I have a penthouse like at this hotel, at this place that's like super nice, and they're like, what do you work? And then he's like, no, this is the only thing that I do. I'm out here like all day, every day. And people are like, I'm not going to give you money if you're going to go, if you have a better car than me, or if you're going to go and buy drugs or whatever. My whole thing is, I'm giving you money
under the pretense that you're homeless.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm giving you money because I want to be a good person and I want to help you out. I want to believe that you're going to do something good with this money. You're going to buy yourself food, or buy yourself a hotel room, or put it towards a hotel room, or whatever the case may be. Like, I want to be thinking of like the positive things, I'm not there to judge this person or to like pick apart the situation, and be like, okay, where is he going to use this money? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving it to you. Hopefully you're going to be putting it to good use. You have good intentions. I have good intentions. And like, case and done. Like, it almost sounds selfish because it's like you're giving somebody money because you want to feel good, but in reality it's true. Like, you do something good, you feel good, it makes you want to do more good things. Like, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? But people are just so caught up on the whole idea of like, these people aren't really homeless and whatever. But I just think that I think we should be more compassionate and stop judging and stop like trying to pick apart these scenarios and just do the right thing for ourselves.
And do the right thing for yourself and for the community, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you think about like filming good deeds?
I don't honestly have a problem with it. I mean, if you're being honest about it and you're actually going out and finding, not that it's difficult to find a homeless person or whatever, but like if you're not like staging it, like getting a friend to dress up as a homeless person, and you're actually going out and finding somebody and you're like, hey bud, here's a meal, or hey, here's $20 or $100 or whatever, and then you post that and you're posting it for the likes, but it's it's still benefited somebody, then
well, what's wrong with your friend dressing up and you filming it and making it believable to the point that that's actually a homeless person?
Well, I guess at that point it feels very disingenuous. Like it sends the same message, but it was done from the wrong place, in my opinion.
So are you saying like the friend's dressing up as a homeless person in this video, and it's like noticeably like not a homeless person?
Yeah, like if you're gonna do it, then like go out and like why are you gonna pay money to have a friend dress up like a homeless person, and then that friend's probably going to give you half of the money? Like, who does that benefit except for you?
I know what you're saying, but what I'm trying to ask is, if you have like, are these videos that you're referring to of like friends dressing up as homeless people, as the viewer?
I'm not saying like I've ever seen that.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to put into perspective and trying to understand, because I don't have a problem with it if someone pays an actor to be a homeless person and they have a video of it, and I can't tell that it's not a homeless person and this person's giving a homeless person money. My earlier statement still remains the same. That makes me want to go out and do a good thing, regardless of what that person intent was. Like, I believe them to be giving a homeless person money, and that makes me want to also go and give a homeless person money, or go and like volunteer my time somewhere, or like go do something good for someone, you know, give someone a ride somewhere, or like help a friend out or something.
I feel like there's different ways to do it. Like, why go through all that trouble to say, like, I want to be a nice person, instead of just being like, hey, like, this is what you guys could be doing. This was done with actors, right?
Yeah.
Like, but now you're like, there's actual homeless people that you could be helping with this money. You're going to make money from the video that you produced anyway, right? Mm-hmm. If it's going to go viral, like we're talking about in this scenario, mm-hmm. then like, why wouldn't you just go and help a homeless person out?
Yeah, but who cares? Like, if that person, if that's what they chose to do at that moment, is to hire an actor and like pretend to give like a homeless person money, I mean, that's on them, you know?
Well,
like, I still think it's like starts a movement of some sort.
It goes back to the reason you brought it up, right? Like, being a good person. Like, is it being a good person to have somebody imitate a homeless person and then give them a scenario where they you know, they're down on their luck, and you come in and you save the day, and then you're like, hey, look at what a good person I am, without coming back around at the beginning of it and be like, hey, this was done with actors, this is what I think we should do.
Of course not, but like, that's not my place to judge that person or to like try to like pick them apart, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not saying pick them apart. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna do it, then be genuine about it.
Oh, I agree. Like, I agree 100%, but I also feel like the other side of it is, again, it's like what that person chooses to do. Like, it's not affecting me. I may disagree with them. You know, I may have a different opinion than them, but which is another topic, because like, I could go off on opinions and people getting upset about somebody else not having the same opinion as them. But, you know, if they have a different opinion, or they think it's okay to do this and I don't agree with them, they're still going to do it. Like, I shouldn't get hurt or like have it ruin my day because I don't agree with what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
As long as it's not hurting someone, and in reality, that in that scenario, they're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
You know, they're being disingenuous, but, you know, what are you going to do in the long run, you know?
Yeah.
What about like filming in general? Like, filming, I know you've heard, maybe not to you specifically, but have heard of like older people and some of our aged people be like, I don't understand why everybody's filming. Like, put your phone down, watch the sunset, don't record the sunset. Or you're at a concert, you see like those pictures going around Facebook or Instagram of like people at concerts holding their phones out, like we're videoing it. People are like, why aren't they in the moment, like enjoying it?
Well, I think part of that is there's two different perspectives, right? Like, there's people that you know, definitely want to be in that moment and only want themselves to have that memory. Mm-hmm. And then I think there's people that want other people to experience that memory, like of the moment that they were in.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is, I mean, they're still there. They're just viewing it through a different lens than how you're viewing it, mm-hmm. or how that other person would view it. So to me, it doesn't really matter. Right, like if you go to a concert and you hold your phone up to record the person, then like maybe, you know, a year later you get depressed or something and you use it as a pick me up, right? Like, oh, look how fun this moment was, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I could see where a lot of good would come from that, but by the same token, you know, maybe somebody's like, you know, I've had a lot of great experiences and they're just mine,
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not sharing them with anybody. They're just for me.
I think it's a big, especially with like the older generation saying it. I feel like they grew up with not having technology that was able to do that. Mm-hmm. So I think that plays a big part of it because they're just used to living in the moment. Yeah. But I feel like technology is honestly amazing. Like sometimes I think about like the smallest things, like a cell phone. Like if you call someone, like you're hearing their voice and they're on like the other side. They could be on the other side of the world, and you're hearing their voice. Like what? Like how does that work? Like how is that getting transferred from this cellular device right here that's in my hands to that cellular device, like all the way on the other side of the world? Like it blows my mind to think about like how it happens and how it works and everything. Yeah. So I feel like we're very lucky, especially I feel very lucky to have like grown up with technology and been able to see it progress as fast as it has. And I see nothing wrong with people like recording, especially at like concerts and stuff. It's just like the norm, you know. It's like normal for people to have their phone out and record things. I think it's just like the way the world is going, and honestly, like I enjoy it. Like I would like having that moment of like going back and like reliving that moment. I'm still living, like if I'm at a concert, I'm still living in the moment, but I also have like my phone out and I'm like recording because it's like, wow, I get to like, now I don't just have to keep this in my memory and maybe like forget it, or, you know, over time, like your memory may shift a little bit and you may think of a situation happening a little bit different than what is reality. But I have something to actually go back to and like bring that up and like refresh my memory. You know what I mean? I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely can be, for sure. There are moments where like I'm like, you know what? I don't need to record this, but it's still great that I've got the memory. And then there are other moments where like, yeah, I want to come back and like my best man speech at Blake's wedding, my brother's wedding.
Yeah.
I had that recorded for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back and watch that for sure. So.
Or can you imagine like if you had a kid and like they're doing like a recital or something, like you can record
He's got,
that.
Four legs, you know.
Huh?
I said we do have a child. He's got 4 legs.
Yeah, but you know, like a kid like at a recital, you know, you can record it, and then like when they get older, you can be like, oh, look at you, like this was you like doing your recital or whatever. Like you get to see that moment versus like, you know, just being told about it or something like that. I think like there's just something so I don't know, like I want to say like Black Mirror like, but you haven't seen Black Mirror. But maybe not. You have to watch some Black Mirror because it's pretty trippy. But it's just like weird to me that you can see yourself and see what someone else had saw and like lived through it years and years and years ago, and it like gets played back to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just find that crazy. Can you imagine like back in like 1910 and 1920, 1930s? I don't know when cameras like first came around, but I mean, it came around to the point where it wasn't just like big production like TV companies like filming like movies and TVs and stuff like that, where people actually had like accessibility to cameras in their own home. I think it was like 80s or 90s, right? It had to have been those like big cameras that you see like in the 90s, like people hold and stuff.
That would be closer to like the 50s and 60s.
Are you? I don't think so. Like like normal everyday civilians, like they can walk into Sears and buy a freaking camera. I think it was more like 80s, 90s.
No.
I'll have to Google it. I need to fact check that because. But anyway, like, can you imagine if you could go back in like the 1910 or 1920s and like be able to like see the Great Depression and see like everything that they were talking about? You know what I mean? Like real time.
That'd be awful, but yes.
I mean, it would be awful. I mean, that's maybe I don't know what positive things have happened back then. Like
the Roaring 20s. That was
the Roaring 20s. Can you imagine? Like, can you imagine like looking back at that?
Looking back at swing dancing.
Yeah. When did? I'm googling it. When did
video cameras or personal cameras?
Personal cameras become available. Cameras were being produced commercially within the year of the announcement. Blah, blah, blah. 1888, the first camera that any amateur could use.
Oh, that's a different. You're talking about like the slides.
Yeah, I want like a video.
No,
When
you're
did
talking about
personal.
yeah, so you've got like this
Video.
35 millimeter camera was like all the way back to 1925.
I'm talking about this, like this,
Oh, okay.
like a camcorder. This is like 1983. So like yeah, the 80s, 90s, like JVC, VHS camcorder type moments. Because this is what I think like of people. Because you're not gonna want to carry around a big, huge camera. I mean, these were pretty freaking big, but they were more like families bought them, you know, to record their kids and stuff like that. It still wasn't like super popular, I think, in the 80s. Maybe a little bit, or maybe like it depended on like which family, like varied from family to family. But
Hold on.
1983, Sony released the first camcorder. Yeah, so it's like 1980s. I was right. That's like when the first camcorders came out. 1995. That was the year I was born. Tapeless was 2003. That's crazy. I feel like everything's happening so fast now. Like, for a while there, it's like all this stuff. It took, you know what I mean? Like, it was like a big, huge pause in between advancements, and now it's like every year everything's getting advanced and getting better, getting more high tech. You know what I mean?
That's where they say that nostalgia hits us much harder than it hits like our parents, for example, is because like when we were growing up, like it was always something new.
Yeah.
But like with like our parents and their parents, it was like more gradual. But now it's a race to do whatever new you can.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, though.
No.
I think advancements in technology and in medicine and all that. I think it's amazing that we do the things that we can today. I don't know.
I'm still attempting to prove you wrong.
Well, I was right, so you're not going to prove me wrong.
Whatever.
Don't you know I'm always right? Didn't you know that?
Yeah, whatever.
Huh?
I say, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I was like 1980s. I'm thinking like Full House days. You never watched Full House, but it was like in the 80s. It was an 80s TV show, and Danny Tanner had like a big camcorder, but it was like still like versatile enough for like a family to use, and it wasn't super complicated and stuff.
I know what you're talking about, but I know that it was also available before that.
Maybe like a big camera, like when you talk about it, I think of like a big camera with like those like big, like, what's it called? Like you put it in and then the flash takes a photo of it. It's like a huge thing, you know, and then it has like the photo paper on it, and it's like a slide, and then they have to take the slide out and then put like a new slide in, and like the photo itself.
You're talking about a plate camera.
Yeah, like you had to sit there for like 10 minutes for it to take your photo. Like it wasn't like instant. It was like took some time to take your picture.
Yes.
Did you know that those photos, like the portraits of like way back in the day, like in the 1800s, it took like 30 minutes or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But it took a long time for like those pictures to happen. So people didn't laugh like and smile because it would hurt. Like they would be smiling for forever.
Right.
And so that's why they always look so sad and like they're not smiling, because they just had to sit there for however long for the camera to take their photo. Isn't that crazy?
That is kind of crazy.
You would think that they'd be like, okay, it takes pictures every 30 minutes or whatever. Stand here, and then I'll let you know when to smile. And then, like, once 30 minutes is up, be like, okay, smile. And, like, it would take their picture. I think it's, like, a gradual thing. I think it takes, like, multiple photos over that time frame, and then it, like, pieces it together or something. And so that's why that couldn't happen. Because that seems like a good solution to me. What do you think?
I think I'm glad that it takes it instantly for us now.
Yeah. Can you imagine standing there, like, waiting for your picture to be taken?
I couldn't, but by the same token, I couldn't imagine somebody sitting there and painting a portrait of me either. Like, that would take even longer, and
That's
people
true.
do that.
That'd be cool to have like a painting of yourself. Well, now they just paint a picture of a picture. Like, you take a picture and then they paint it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Right? Because like if you go on Etsy or something and you're like, hey, I want like an oil painting of myself, they're like, cool, bro, send me a photo of yourself and I'll do it. So they're painting a photo of you.
That's true.
Funny how that works. Can you imagine if like that wasn't the case, you had to like fly out to them, or they had to fly into you to paint your picture?
That'd be expensive. Wouldn't be worth it in my opinion.
That's why only the rich had their photos or their themselves painted.
Yeah, they only they had time, right?
How would you say that? I want a painting of myself. Yeah.
Self-portrait.
Yeah, but like, will you paint? They paint me. When I think of like, they're gonna paint
I would like
a drawing of me, a painting of myself.
No, I would like to. Damn it! It's late, and I'm trying to think of the word.
It's not working. Your brain's not working. It turned off.
No.
Your brain turned off. It's going to sleep.
Damn it!
Good night, brain. Good night, brain.
What do artists do whenever they
paint.
No.
They draw.
Damn it! Whenever commission, I commission you to do a self-portrait of me.
That's a weird word to pick. You commission?
Yeah.
No, they make a commission by painting a photo of you.
No. The commission is that I pay you to do a self-portrait of me.
It's a commission, but you don't say I commission you. You say I'm hiring you.
I think that we're using synonyms again.
Synonyms?
Yeah, synonyms. That's right.
Synonyms. Did I say it?
No.
Synonyms?
Yeah, there you go.
I have like the hardest time saying that word.
I know you do.
There's that word and then there's another word I can't say ever. It takes me a couple of tries.
Moist?
A couple of good tries. If you said what I think you just said, I don't know if you really said it. Don't say it again if you said it. I can't tell for sure, but I don't want you to repeat it because if it's what I think it is, I hate you.
Love you.
I hate that word. Love you, Toffee. Love you, Toffee. Love you, Toffee.
Love you too.
Love you, Toffee.
Love you too.
This is good.
Yeah?
Are you ready to write your roast about yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt it.
I'm excited to hear what you're gonna roast about.
Me too.
Do you know?
No.
There's nothing that you know off the top of your head?
No, I'm gonna have to dig deep.
Damn.
Well, you got one ready? Like, you just like you
For myself, yeah.
pull it out of your sleeve. Like, I'm glad
I
you asked.
procrastinate. I like food. I eat too much.
Yeah, but you gotta put it to a beat.
Huh?
So you gotta put it to a beat.
Yeah, I know. That's easy. I can whip this out like that. Not right now, but not like off the top of my head like Eminem. I'm not the good. I'm not 8 Mile.
Oh, okay.
I'm 1 mile, and I don't even run it.
Zing.
Swing. All right, Tofi.
All right, babe.
Good job. High five.
High five.
Yay! Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, and then down below I'm going to link in my Twitter, my Instagram, maybe Chris's Twitter. Actually, not his Twitter.
Yeah, I was
going to
say, you could go to my Twitter if you wanted to, but
maybe
nothing.
I should link it just so people can see your negativity.
I don't even know if I have Twitter installed on my phone.
It's fine. We're going to link it
I think
anyway,
I do.
regardless if it's installed.
I don't have it.
It's cool. So we're going to link all that stuff and link my main channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you
later.
We'll talk to you. Maybe
you'll
in a
hear
couple
us
days.
talk.
We should do another podcast in a couple of days.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
Bye,
good.
guys.
See ya.
Bye.